This is Jimmy Rollins, and I'm here with Exit Velo and A Day with the Pros.
Welcome back to another episode of the Jim on Base Show. We're back with Jimmy Rollins, and this time we're in Oakland, and it's good to see you out with the kids today.
Oh, of course. Little cuz hit me and asked me if I was going to show up 2 months ago, and I actually forgot about it, and I was out in Vegas, and he sent the reminder, and I'm like, oh, snap, I'm supposed to do that. So I flew in from Vegas, slept in my bed for a half a night, jumped on a plane this morning, but I wasn't going to miss it.
Awesome, yeah, great cause, and the great Marcel, he gave me the invite, so happy to be here. And it just made me wonder, when you were growing up in the Bay Area, did you go to any camps or anything like that you remember?
No, I didn't do any camps. What I did do was a program put together by Jethro McIntyre, and I think it was like an MLB program. I forgot what I'm drawing a blank right now because I've been traveling, but it's one of the MLB programs that Jethro McIntyre would do over at Laney College. And we would show up for about 3 or 4 weekends in the off season, Saturdays and Sundays, and we just play baseball. We play a scrimmage game, but there was no formal clinics. I don't think they were really a thing when I was growing up, but it was a MLB Reviving Baseball thing that the MLB does. And I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now, but I was part of that, the Urban Academy, that's what it was. It was Jethro McIntyre. It was called the Urban Academy. I was remembering the shirts now. And so for the kids that played baseball, even the kids that didn't, they were invited, but it was mainly kids that played Oakland Babe Ruth that would show up and still get some baseball work in during the off season.
Well, it's good to see you out here with the kids making a good impact, and it made me wonder, though, there's so many great athletes that come from Oakland, so having a career as long as you did, as great as you did, does Oakland get enough respect in MLB clubhouses for all the talent that's come out of here?
Not at all. Not at all. Everybody automatically thinks they're Southern California. And you look over the course of history and the number of Hall of Famers that have come from Oakland, meaning guys that have made to the big leagues and had a substantial amount of time, how many of those guys have become Hall of Famers? The ratio is pretty high, and I'm hoping to add to that.
Well, speaking of that, too, it's, as you know, it's not just sports. It's music, culture, and kind of the rest of the, not to be over-dramatic, but the rest of the world kind of follows.
We don't get a lot of credit for many things we do, but we're trendsetters. It's hard to be in a small pocket and yell out to the world, you know, when you can go down to L.A., for example, take Bay Area slang and make it sound like your own, and everybody think it's something that started down there, and it's like, well, we were saying that up here 10 years before it got to LA and 15 years before it got out in the world. We don't even use those terms anymore, but that's the way of it. And you know, a lot of times when you're the originator of something, you don't get credit for it. It's that second wave that find out about what you're doing that gets all the credit. But we know from being here, we're the originators of a lot of things, and we take pride in that. And I think that's our own culture and our own style, our own swag that we present to the world.
And I say I hella agree with you, right?
Hella, you know what I'm saying? Hella. All day.
Well, we're out here for the kids, and it's not just about making the big leagues. As you know, baseball, you teach a lot of life skills. So do you ever think to yourself, what would you have done career-wise if you weren't playing baseball?
I really think I would have been a surgeon. Obviously, I'm really good with my hands, and I like the precision of things, you know, having to go in and be delicate and gentle and make incisions and the blood and all that other stuff. It does nothing for me. It's like that's just part of it, you know, but I've always been someone who wanted to know why something worked or why something didn't work. And I think when you're a doctor or a surgeon, you get the fix or find out that why, you know, why this happened. Oh, well, here's the issue. Now let's put it back together. And that's kind of how I've always been.
Well, speaking of being good with your hands, I ran into you at Tahoe, and you just wrapped up MLB's tournament at Shadow Creek, right?
Yes, the MLB Open. It was absolutely amazing. It was wrapped around the MLB All-MLB Awards. And this was my first year going to the All-MLB Awards. And it was a lot of guys' first year. You go from the first year and this is year 3, so the first year maybe had like 3 or 4 guys, mainly all cap, which is the Commissioner's Ambassador Program, which I'm a co-chair of with Ryan Howard. To last year, there may have been 20. To this year, there are probably at least 100 guys. When you look on that stage, we could have filled up, I would say, 4 teams. Not necessarily position by position, but there are enough players to fill up 4 teams, and that was great. So to have that all come together, you had the MLB Open, which was the All-MLB Awards thrown in the middle of that. It made for a great time, and the golf tournament itself was a classic. Aaron Hicks, of course, was no surprise that he won. Ben Francisco and myself represented the Phillies, and we were there in day one, I think sitting in fourth. I think we ended up maybe like tied for eighth. Pretty pedestrian that last day, but when Aaron Hicks had the lead by 4 strokes or 4 points, it was like, yeah, that's going to be tough to get by. And it was one heck of an event. So we know it's only going to get bigger. It's put on by the same group that have done a lot of celebrity tournaments. Saw a lot of people from Tahoe.
Yeah.
So if they're involved and you have MLB footing that bill, I think this is going to be something to compete with over the next few years.
Well, you didn't deploy any hole-in-ones, right? I'm still wondering, did you take the boat from Tahoe? Or?
No, although on hole 17, I got it to about 2 feet one day, maybe about 4 feet the next day. So I was getting close. I was dropping them, but you know what? Only thing you get in those hole-in-ones is glory.
Yeah.
I think I'll save mine for Tahoe.
Hey, sounds good. And since I've seen you last, you had your Wall of Fame ceremony with the Phillies. That's got to be surreal, right?
Yeah, it was dope. It was something that I tried to put off for years. Actually, I did put off for years. I didn't try to. I put off for years. And then last off season, Mr. Middleton came. Well, he didn't come to me. He gave me a call. So when I saw his number and his name pop up on my phone, I'm like, oh Lord, this is serious. Okay. He's like, so Jim. Actually, it was 2 years ago. He said, look, it's your option. We want to honor you, and we want to honor Dave Montgomery. But it's your option in which order it goes in. And, of course, Dave being a president of the Phillies for so long, I was not going to go in front of him. And on top of that, I got to push it back another year. So when I told him the order, obviously Dave was going to go first. He's like, all right, well, I guess I'll see you in 2 years. So I had some time to prep for it in that regard. But I've always been on the other side of just participating in it and, you know, letting the honoree do their thing. And I just go run up in the suite and like, y'all had the rest of this weekend till this year being one of the honorees along with Ed Wade, who was my GM, and part of the reason why, actually one of the big reasons why I was with the Phillies, he was the GM at the time. It was great to go through. It was a lot. I mean, I didn't have a second to spend with anyone, my mom, dad, parents, friends, family. It was just like they saw me on the field, and I saw them at the hotel. And whatever happened in between, I have no idea because I was pulled left, right, up, and down. But it was a great weekend. It's one of those things that you get to and you realize the impact that you made. And you're always wondering the impact that you've made. And you hear about it, you know, for as individuals, and that's plenty enough. But when you have, you know, 46,000 fans there for you and Ed Wade in this situation, it was definitely a humbling experience.
And for all those fans, the 46,000 people, they're probably curious, you know, that 2008 team you're on. I always like asking people that have won championships,
yeah,
what do you do with the ring? And I imagine you have a group chat with some of those guys or see them on the golf course?
Actually, the ring is in a dresser right now because I took it, although I didn't wear it, I took it out when we were covering the LCS to Milwaukee and LA, who were they're back-to-back champs. No, I'm happy they're champs because baseball needed someone to hate. I just wish it was us first, but congratulations to them. But it's great for them. But anyhow, the ring is in a drawer because I haven't put it back up. So I've been traveling. I just haven't sat still. So eventually it will go back in the case. But right now it's sitting in the drawer.
And I'll wrap it up here. Simple question. Yeah, you've had such a great career. You're still giving back. It's simple, but why do you love baseball?
Baseball was always something that I've loved. My first memory is being 4 years old on my dad, who's here. He doesn't miss anything either. If it's something for the kids, he's been like that his whole life. He shows up, and being 4 years old on his shoulders, watch my mom play softball, and in that moment knowing, it's like, this is what I want to do. There was no question about it. You know, people say they have a calling. That's what it felt like. I'm going to play baseball. And you always get asked at school, you know, what are you going to do? And I would tell them I'm going to be a professional baseball player. And they kind of look at me crazy. Well, if you don't, it's like, well, I don't understand your line of questioning because there's no if to it. I was blessed enough to be able to get there, but baseball has just always been in my life. It hasn't been a year since I was 4 years old that I haven't been involved in baseball.
Great answer. So, Jimmy, thanks for signing this ball. We're going to be giving this away. You got to follow the instructions in the comments and the bio. And you got to follow Exit Velo on social media, support the cause, and this ball could be yours. So, Jimmy, thanks for chatting. It's always good to see you.
Of course. Thanks for having me.